2018 was a great year for gamers, but now it's time to take a look forward into the new year, all the potential games we'll get to play, and 2019 is absolutely packed with a great variety to look forward to. So with that said, here are 17 of the best to keep an eye out for in the next 12 months and beyond. The first game comes out very early into 2019 on January 25th, and that is Resident Evil 2, a remake of the 20-year-old classic rebuilt from the ground up. Unlike the remake of the first game, this remake forgoes the slightly archaic tank controls and fixed camera angles of the original in favour of an over-the-shoulder perspective and controls that feel far more up-to-date and in line with later entries in the series. The title uses the RE engine just like 2017's Resident Evil 7 and looks fantastic, really capturing that horror atmosphere and tension the series is known for. The next game comes out a few days later and is one many of us have been waiting over a decade for. Kingdom Hearts 3 looks to be coming together extremely well, finally bringing an end to the Xehanort saga, and bringing the Disney worlds to life like never before, with new additions in the form of Big Hero 6, Toy Story, and Monsters Inc. to name just a few. The gameplay remains similar to the previous entries, but combat will be much flashier, with the ability to transform your Keyblade into various different weapons, as well as interact with the environment more in terms of both movement and combat. Jumping into February, and we have Far Cry New Dawn. New Dawn does essentially what Far Cry Primal did, taking the map of the previous title and creating a new game surrounding it with an interesting twist. New Dawn is a direct sequel to 5, set 17 years after its climactic ending, with the world now in a post-apocalyptic state, leaving you to help rebuild Hope County. Whether it will be a successful side entry in the series remains to be seen, but its premise and footage so far looks promising, and we can at least be assured it'll be a better post-apocalyptic game than Fallout 76. 1 week later and we get Anthem, a game created by BioWare that shares more than a passing resemblance to Destiny, but with some notable differences. In Anthem you utilise a customizable javelin, which are Iron Man-like mechs with 4 different types to choose from: Ranger, Colossus, Storm and Interceptor, with the ability to freely change between each of them. Anthem is a shared world multiplayer game with an emphasis on obtaining loot to equip yourself with, but BioWare have promised that it will have a strong focus on story. EA have also confirmed that there will be no loot boxes or pay to win element, so fingers crossed we won't get another Battlefront 2 situation. In March we get Devil May Cry 5, a return back to the original continuity after the failed 2013 reboot. Devil May Cry 5 takes place after the second and has 3 playable characters: Dante, Nero from 4 and a brand new character called V with mysterious powers and motivation. The game gives us a fast-paced combat system we're used to from the series, and also gives Nero a prosthetic arm to deal out the damage in whole new ways. DMC5 looks visually stunning and could be potentially the best in the series so far. Towards the end of March we get the latest From Software title, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Initially you may assume that Sekiro is a samurai-themed Dark Souls, and while elements of this series are indeed within the game, it actually has far more in common with a much older series, Tenchu. That however doesn't mean it won't be nail-bitingly hard, as reportedly it's even tougher than both Dark Souls or Bloodborne, so for those longing for a ridiculously punishing challenge, you'll definitely find it here. Moving into April and we will finally get Days Gone, a game that was delayed a couple of times, pushing it into 2019. Days Gone places you in the hands of former bounty hunter and biker Deacon St. John in a post-apocalyptic world. While it is often compared to The Last of Us, it features an open world design, branching gameplay paths, and faster, more aggressive zombies known as Freakers that really differentiates it. Being a biker, Deacon's motorcycle will play a big role in the game, and one of the main forms of transportation you'll use to cross the world. Sony have been pumping out a lot of great exclusives in recent years, and this may just be another. Releasing right in the middle of the year is Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, a remake of the PS1 original that should feature a similar graphic overhaul and gameplay improvements as the Crash Insane trilogy, while adding in new content in the form of online play, tracks, playable characters and customization. CTR was not only one of the most beloved games on the PS1, but one of the few worthy competitors to Mario Kart thanks to its charm, fun factor, great controls and replayability, ultimately making for what I think will be another successful remake. The following 5 games are those slated for 2019 but with no fixed date, and the first of these is Gears 5. Gears 5 shifts the core focus away from JD Phoenix, placing it more heavily on Kate Diaz this time around, really exploring her newfound heritage as a Locust Queen's granddaughter and all the potential problems that come along with that. The story looks like it will be a lot darker than 4, with even more at stake for the Gears crew, and no doubt will be one of the biggest games for the Xbox next year. Talking of gritty shooting games, the sequel to 2016's Doom is coming in 2019. Doom Eternal takes the already insanely fast gameplay and ups it once again, giving us new methods to obliterate your enemies, such as a blade that is attached to your left arm that can be used to gruesomely cleave them in two. Eternal also offers a new interesting twist akin to something like Dark Souls, allowing you the ability to take over a demon and evade other players' campaigns, that should provide some interesting and tense moments. Moving away from shooters, we have a title for all you JRPG fans out there, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. The game is being developed by both Cygames and Platinum Games, and while the series isn't new, it's not known nearly as much in the West as it is in Japan. Not much has been shown, but we do know the battle system will be real time and co-op will be a feature. So far the art style looks fantastic, and footage really shows off the title's Platinum DNA with some satisfyingly fast, fluid combat. The following game is Control, a new title by Remedy, the creators of Alan Wake and Quantum Break. Control was announced at E3 2018 and in many ways bears a lot of resemblance to Quantum Break. Visually it features a similar aesthetic, and the main character Jessie Faden also has a number of superpower-like abilities at her disposal. Control takes place primarily in a singular eerie building called the Oldest House, which may sound restrictive at first, but the landscape shifts and changes throughout the story, hopefully keeping it feeling interesting and fresh for players. Game number 13 is one that was announced only weeks ago at the Game Awards, called The Outer Worlds, and is being developed by Obsidian, who you probably know most fondly for 2010's Fallout New Vegas. With Bethesda slowly killing the Fallout franchise, The Outer Worlds might be a great alternative to consider, giving us a sci-fi action role-playing game where you create your own character, shape the story, and explore the surprisingly colourful alien planet locales. The next three titles are big exclusives for the PS4, and the first of which is Ghost of Tsushima, an original IP by Sucker Punch, the devs behind the Sly Cooper and Infamous series. Ghost of Tsushima is set in feudal Japan, and as you take on the Mongol army on Tsushima Island as one of the last remaining samurai. Like Infamous Second Son and First Light, the graphics immediately jump out at you with its incredible realism and effects, but thankfully there's no slouch in the gameplay department either, looking to be Sucker Punch's biggest, most promising project to date, and definitely one for PlayStation owners to keep an eye out for in the near future. The second PS4 exclusive is The Last of Us Part 2, the follow-up to the 2013 hit by Naughty Dog. The sequel takes place 5 years after the first, putting you in the hands of an older 19-year-old Ellie, and instead of being a story about hope, its theme this time surrounds hate, giving us some really shockingly violent and dark scenes. We got quite an in-depth look at it during E3 2018, so release of later this year is absolutely possible, but no matter which year it comes out in, it will likely be the game of the year, and no doubt another deep story that will tug on our heartstrings. The third big PS4 exclusive is Hideo Kojima's brand new mysterious title, Death Stranding. Despite being announced back in 2016, and since getting a few trailers, it's still not all that clear exactly what the story is about or how exactly it will play. That however hasn't stopped people from being excited, as Kojima is known for some of the best games ever made, with some of the most complex storytelling around, and Death Stranding could very well be his next masterpiece. While we don't have a release date, a late 2019 to late 2020 release is expected at the moment. That of course leads us to the final entry, Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk 2077 is a first-person RPG being developed by CD Projekt Red, who last created The Witcher 3, and is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious games ever, providing a massive and unique futuristic world, a ton of different ways to influence the story and approach situations, as well as some truly jaw-dropping visuals. Rumour has it might release as soon as the end of this year, so it may not be all that long of a wait, but we can get our hands on it ourselves. That's it for today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe and hit that bell icon to receive notifications when future videos are posted. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.